This is Parting the Interruption on ESPN. I am Sam Rudovsky, joined today by Jack Waterstreet and Nate Ross. And today we're going to be discussing the MLB, and then eventually we'll get into the NFL, talking about some of the southern divisions where there is a lot of animosity. There's not many teams that have shown that they can be great. But first off, let's start with the MLB and Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani is a superstar. He's the consensus MVP if he does not get injured. Where do you guys think his future lies? Is it in Los Angeles or is it somewhere else?
I personally believe that he's going to stay in Los Angeles this year, and then free agency, who knows, he might go to Los Angeles, New York, who knows. But this year, I just don't see the Angels trading him because there's no guarantee if he gets traded, he's going to resign with that team. If I'm the Yankees or the Dodgers, I'm not going to give up my whole farm system for a rental. I just don't see how that's worth it because, it's just one player, all right? You can't have one player take you to the World Series. It's the whole thing. You can't. I'm not going to give up my entire farm system, my entire future for a rental.
I'd like to say I agree, but I sort of disagree. I think that for a little bit, there's a part of me that thinks he's going to go to Chicago, but I don't know if they have enough pieces to trade to the Angels. I don't know if the Angels are willing to do it, and I just think he'll probably finish out the season in LA, but I don't know. I personally just think he'll stay. Maybe Chicago.
If you think he's going to, who are the Cubs going to give up to get Shohei Ohtani? Tell me.
I don't know. Maybe Cody Bellinger, Nico Horner, some farm pieces. I personally don't really see it happening, but there is a part of me that thinks it could happen.
And Angels GM already came out and said they're probably not going to trade him, and especially they're going to trade him to the Cubs for a couple pieces who are good but not great current players. If you're going to trade for him. And if there's going to be a current player, got to be a star, especially if it's not a bright top 5 prospect, it has to be a star right now. And I don't see Shohei Ohtani being traded for Nico Horner and Cody Bellinger. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, I think that if a trade would happen, it would have to be to a big market team. I think the Yankees is an interesting prospect wearing the pinstripes. This 100 years ago, we had the Sultan of Swat playing there, a home run hitter and also a pitcher. Could Shohei Ohtani join that legacy? Possibly. Let's move on to the NFL. Right now, there's a lot of strong teams in the NFL. You look at the AFC East, the AFC West, both looking like incredibly strong divisions. In the NFC, it's going to be the NFC West and the NFC East as the divisions to beat. But both the NFC South and the AFC South are kind of absent in talent and true contenders and in teams that are willing to step up and say that they're going to make a Super Bowl run. Let's start with the NFC South. Who do you think could take home that division next year?
I personally believe I think it's going to be the Atlanta Falcons. All right, it's a weak division. All right, last year showed a lot of hope. All right, they went 7-9 around there. There are many games, 4 to 5 games, lost by one possession. Easily could have won those games. I feel like with the addition they made to the offense and defense, also getting rid of Marcus Mariota, horrible quarterback, I feel like they can really make a run. When you add Bijan Robinson to that offense, right, it opens up the offense. You get Kyle Pitts back, it opens up the offense so much more because you can put Bijan not only running back, you can also put him in the slot receiver. You're going to have Cordero Patterson, he's going to play in the slot. All right, it opens up the offense. You have Tyler Algier, who had over 1,000 yards last year. Right? You can use him. Not only that, the defense. You had Jesse Bates. You had Bud Dupree. You had Calais Campbell. Along Grady Jarrett, AJ Terrell. That's going to be a dangerous defense. I really think with the competition they're playing, Bryce Young, great quarterback, who knows in the future, but this year just don't see it happening. And you have Derek Carr, who knows, big question mark around him. Baker Mayfield, same thing. I really think they could easily make a run this year.
How about you?
Personally, I'm going to go with the Panthers. I think Bryce Young was easily the best pick on the board, and I think he's going to fit very well into their system. New head coach, a lot of new players. They're putting in new players to fill in the spots for McCaffrey and Moore. And I think their offense will be pretty dangerous next year and very dangerous in the upcoming years. But I just think this year in a weak division, it really could be anybody, but I'll take the Panthers by a game and a half.
I just don't see the Panthers having the piece to make a run. You have Terrace Marshall, but even you don't have DJ Moore anymore. You don't have Christian McCaffrey anymore. Who is Bryce Young going to get the ball from the consistent basis that you can rely on?
I actually think Marshall's done really well, and he's had a really good offseason. And even though the Panthers were worse, probably going to be worse last year than they were this year, I think they'll be a lot better than this year. And, the Falcons, same thing every year. Saints, pretty bad last year. Then the Bucks lost the best player in football, Tom Brady. I really think the division could go to anybody, but I'm just going to go after.
I just don't know how you can say that. Panthers going to finish last. Is Bryce Young going to start week 1?
What did the Falcons finish last year?
All right, that's not the point. They add new pieces. All right, what did you add? You got rid of DJ Moore. You got rid of Christian McCaffrey.
Did the Falcons have the number 1 pick in the draft?
He's not going to start week 1.
Who the Falcons drafted?
All right, Bijan Robinson, explosive, can make plays on the offense, open up the offense.
Isn't there another running back, so they're going to be splitting carries? Maybe some
exactly.
Speeds?
All right, so it's not just relying on Bijan Robinson. You also have Tyler Algier. All right, You have multiple pieces out of that backfield that can make big plays.
Do you really think the same team that came back that's coming back from last year, pretty much, that didn't finish
It's not
too
the same
well?
team at all.
They went 7-9, had B. John Robinson. That's it.
There are multiple one possession games easily could have won. Rams, Saints, but maybe name it.
Could have won.
Can you let me
We'll
in
win
here?
this year with
'Cause
the new defense and offense.
let me in
coaches.
here because
Sam,
I
I'd like
think
to hear
that
what
you
you
guys are both talking about teams that don't have any competition. We've got to wrap this up soon, but one more shout that I think I need to get in before we end this is the New Orleans Saints. They have the experience at the quarterback position, and they have the experience everywhere else. They have Alvin Kamara. They have good receiving pieces. They have Michael Thomas coming back. I'm not sure if I can trust him, but one guy that I can trust is Derek Carr. That's a guy who's won playoff games. Nobody else in the division has that to their name. And I don't think that the Saints are going to go on a long run for four division wins in a row like they did in the late 2010s. But I do think that this season, this is their year. Next year, Bryce Young could be ready. That could be the Panthers' division for many years to come. But for now, I think this is Derek Carr's division. This is the Saints' division to reclaim.
I can definitely see the Saints doing.
With that being said, we're going to wrap it up. Part of the interruption on ESPN. I am Sam Burdovsky signing off with Nate Ross and Jack Waterstreet. Part of the interruption. See ya.